everyone, welcome back! Today we're going to be doing a Minecraft tier list of all the bed defenses in Minecraft, or at least the popular ones. And we've got all the prices right behind me, right there, if you can see over my shoulder. And we got a little bed display, so let's just get right into the video. The first bed defense that we have here is the wool bed defense. It will only cost you 8 pieces of wool in total, which is 4 iron. And you'll actually come out with 8 extra pieces of wool that you can use for bridging or whatever you'd like. Overall, this bed defense is pretty weak to destroy. It only takes about 2 seconds in survival, and if you had shears, you can literally just do it that quickly. Well, almost that quickly at least. So it's pretty good if you're going to do your first rush. I wouldn't recommend it for the entire game. Anyway, that's just the wool defense. Let's get right on to the next one. One more thing, we have to put it on the tier list. So we have our color tiers from best to worst. I don't know how to do letters and item frames, so I just didn't do it. I just did colors. Anyway, the wool bed defense is a solid, so this is SAB, so it's a solid yellow tier. We're gonna give the wool bed defense a yellow rank. The next bed defense that we have here is the clay. The clay bed defense will only cost you 12 iron, and you actually get 16 pieces of clay, so you could do 2 layers and 1 missing on the top, or wool, but we'll get to that later. Just a 1 layer of clay here is really easy to break. It takes about 15 seconds with your hand, I do believe, and it's really easy to see outside, so someone could bring a pick and then easily destroy your bed. The pros of this is it's very cheap, only 12 iron. The other team will need a pickaxe to get your bed quickly, and unless you're absolutely terrible at the game, you should be able to kill them before they get your bed. Now, if they do have a pickaxe, that sucks. The clay bed defense will go on our tier list. We have the wool as the yellow tier, or the B tier. For early game, it is pretty good. It is one of my go-to bed defenses. If I'm playing doubles, solos, I just use the regular wool, and then get out my first rush. I think it is equal with the yellow, with the wool. I would prefer it over the wool, so I would put it above. But I don't think it is an A tier bed defense. So we're gonna move the wool. We're gonna put this here, and it's gonna be in order properly, so the wool is here, then this is here. So it's the one I liked before. Anyway, that is... No. We're gonna move it. It's gonna go right here, and the wool will be in the B tier. Clay is a very good bed defense, but I would like a better bed defense sometimes. The next bed defense that we have here is the endstone bed defense. The endstone bed defense will cost you 24 iron, and you will get 12 endstone. So you could do something along the lines of this, and then make the other team second guess on where your bed is. So if they destroy here, well, they have to break 2 blocks, and that may be beneficial for you, but it does cost more iron than clay. And I would always, my personal self, I would always go over clay than endstone, because you'll still need a pickaxe no matter what. And even if you bring a pickaxe, it'll take about 20 seconds to destroy with your hands, and then this will only take about 10 seconds to destroy, 10-15 seconds, I don't know what it is. But most people, when they do destroy this, they will bring a pickaxe, and clay is just cheaper, and you'll get more clay. Might as well use it. I never ever use endstone on any bed defense ever. You'll never see me ever in a video with bed defense on my bed. This is why we're gonna give it the blue tier, whatever this is. S, A, B, C, D. We're gonna give it the D tier. It is not the worst bed defense, but it is a pretty terrible bed defense. The next bed defense that we have here is the wood. The wood bed defense will cost you a total of 4 gold to build. You will get 12, so you can do the same thing as you would do with endstone, like this, and maybe trick the other team by breaking this block. They'd have to break 2. But I will never go for the wood defense, early game at least, because I always want to get iron armor, which I use with my gold right away, because iron armor is very good, and I would use it there. But later in the game, it is actually pretty good, because people will need a pickaxe and an axe. Say if you're using clay and wood, and then wool on the outside, that would be a pretty good bed defense later game, because they'd need shears if they want to go quickly, then a pickaxe, then an axe, so they'd have to buy more things, and they wouldn't see that you had the wood there, and it would take longer. You get it there, wood. It would take longer for them to kill your bed, and bed would get destroyed. I would not use it early game, but is a pretty good thing end of game. I personally don't use wood at all. I am a endstone guy, or sorry, not an endstone guy, a clay guy, and wool, but we'll get to that later. Overall, wood is probably in with the wool, and it's pretty decent. I wouldn't use it just wood at the beginning of the game because it still takes not that long to destroy with your fist. So it's pretty equal to wool, so if they knock you off or they kill you, they can still get it before you respawn, and that is why I would put the wood in the B tier. The next bed defense we have here is the wood and wool bed defense. It will toss you a total of 4 iron and 4 gold. It's pretty good. It will give you pretty good protection. If you break from this side or the other side, it will take 2 wood blocks any way you go. But if you break from the side, it'll take you 1 wool and 1 wood. So if they do bring shears, it will be a little bit faster, or an axe at least. It will be a little bit faster. It is a pretty good one. I've seen it. It's pretty popular in early game. I personally don't use it that often or at all. It's not that really good to use. I personally do believe. We will give the wood and wool bed defense its own little area. It is probably along with the wood and the wool here. We're going to put this here as wood and wool. Whatever's in a row, we'll say, is 1 bed defense. So, like, this is 1 bed defense. These are 2 different bed defenses. You see that? We'll say this is wood and wool. Let's get right into the next bed defense. The next bed defense that we have here is the glass and wool. It is very, very quick to destroy, even if you have no tools, because you can just destroy this 2 seconds, 1 second, and bam, you're already in the bed. It is very quick to destroy. The only really good advantage is you cannot destroy it with TNT, so I wouldn't use it early game. 32 iron just to do this bed defense early game, and 32 iron I'd prefer to spend on tools to get the other team's bed instead of doing this. I use glass, but not glass and wool in this configuration that often, so I will give it the same as endstone. Pretty terrible. So we'll put glass and wool. It is a pretty terrible bed defense, but, you know, some people use it, and I don't really use it. Anyway, it's not a very good bed defense, so I gave it the blue rank. And, yeah, those are my thoughts on the wood and wool bed defense. The next bed defense that we have here is the obsidian and wool. Obsidian is very hard to get. You will need 8 emeralds to get this, and you will also need 8 iron, but if by the time you have obsidian, 8 iron is not that expensive. The reason I wouldn't do just obsidian is so people could see it and bring a diamond pickaxe, so that's why I will put wool over top. The only problem is with this is, if someone breaks 1 block, they'll see you have obby, they'll run back to your base, they'll get a diamond pick, or invis and diamond pick, and then bam, your bed's gone. Another thing is, with obby, or any obby bed defense, you will need a trap, to detect, so you can, well, if you want to leave your base, you probably will need a trap to leave your base, and then if your trap does go off, and I would suggest a minor fatigue trap. If the trap does go off, you do have enough time to get back to your base, so that is absolutely amazing. That is a very good advantage about obby, but it is way too expensive for me. I wouldn't use it personally. It is a pretty good bed defense, so I'm going to give it the 4th tier down, whatever this tier is. It is the obby and wool bed defense. So it is not as good as wood and wool, or wool, just wood and just wool. Clay obviously is the best, or one of the best. It's better than glass. It is also blast proof from the TNT, which is very good. Again, but they will see that you have the obbies the next time they'll come back. They'll be bringing diamond pickaxe and invis or whatever. Those are the main disadvantages and advantages of obby. It is pretty good for newer players that are newer in the game that aren't very good, but for me and Luci and Noah, we're absolutely insane. So we don't even need to get obby. The next bed defense here we have here is a 3-layer bed defense with wood, clay, and wool here. It will cost you a total of 36 iron and 4 wood, or sorry, not 4 wood, 4 gold, which I wouldn't use early game, but if you're playing 3s and 4s, this is a pretty decent bed defense because you will need at least 2 tools to get through. Well, at least only 1, but it will take a very long time if you're going to use just your pickaxe for this. And if you break no tools, it'll break at least 30 seconds. And if you don't catch someone in your bed for 30 seconds, like, who are you? Like, you're absolutely trash. I would use this bed defense in 3s and 4s or late game if I did have some extra time in solos and doubles, but in this scenario I wouldn't really use this bed defense that much, so I'm gonna put it along with the green tier here. It will be the wool and the wood, and the clay bed defense is in the green tier. It is along with the obby and the wool. Now, the cons of this is it's really easy to get through, and there's no blast proof, but if you push TNT, I don't think it will get through there fast enough, and by then you'll probably still have more layers, and it'll be harder for the other team to destroy. But you only need 3 tools, and who doesn't play the game without all 3 tools? Am I right? So that is why this bed defense is not so good, and it is aligned with the obby. The next bed defense here we have is the clay and wool. The Jake Brick personal favorite here. It will only cost you 20 iron, which will just skip you out on some shears if you do save for 56. If you do get 56 right off the hop on a fast map like Zarzo, you can get 56 iron. That is pretty fast to get. You get 64 blocks plus 2 more. So you get a stack and 32 plus clay plus an axe and a pickaxe, all just for 56 iron. And then you can place this amazing bed defense down. It is my personal favorite. Also, with this bed defense, you will come out with 8 extra clay that you can use if someone does TNT your base. And if they do TNT your base, you obviously are going to kill them because you're obviously amazing and you're obviously insane, just like myself. And you'll easily kill them. And this is my personal favorite bed defense, and I would use it all the time. Yeah, I'm going to put this bed defense in the top tier because it is my favorite bed defense. It will only cost you 20 iron. So that is why it is in the top tier of bed defenses. It is my favorite bed defense. The next bed defense that we have here is any bed defense with water and 3 layers of bed defense. 3 layers of bed defense is always good. You know, I do like the endstone, so sorry. I do like the clay, so I'll use the clay. But any bed defense with water is just really annoying to get. But the best way, if you are going to use water, is going to stack up like this with blocks, place the water on the top, and then destroy the blocks underneath. So it's really hard to get rid of this water source underneath, like I did here. And 3 layers of bed defense is always the best way to do it with this setup. Obsidian would always be better because obsidian is really super slow, and the advantage of the water here will slow down the miner. The disadvantage is that it takes a long time. It does take 3 gold to get, as well as the rest of the bed defense, whatever you're placing down as your bed defense. Now, I personally wouldn't use water that often unless I'm playing 3s or 4s. 3s or 4s is pretty good for water, so I'm going to put water along with obsidian here, and it's just going to be any bed defense with water that is more than 2 or 3 layers. A single layer of bed defense and water is not very good unless you're using clay, because, you know, clay is obviously the best bed defense. And clay and water, and maybe some wool. Clay, wool, and water. There you go. That is literally a pretty good bed defense for 3s and 4s. And just clay and wool is the best bed defense that you could ever have for, I guess, regular solos and doubles. The only problem with 3s and 4s using water is it will cost you 6 iron instead of 3. Anyway, that is it for the water bed defense. Let's get right into the next one. The last, but certainly not least, bed defense is the no bed defense. As you can see, me and Luci have done it twice in these previous 2 videos. And it is pretty easy to win with no bed defense if you are as insane as I am. You know, Jake Brick is absolutely insane. So we're going to put the no bed defense actually higher than just the clay bed defense. We're going to give it its own little role here, the no bed defense. We're just going to grab a bed here. The no bed defense is the highest tier. It's even above this. Just no bed defense is honestly the way to go. Every single time you do absolutely any game of Bedwars, no bed defense is the best. So I would go with no bed defense at the top. Then we have clay and wool, which is absolutely an amazing bed defense. Then just regular clay, another amazing bed defense. The next we have the 3rd tier down, or 4th tier, with the no bed defense. The 3rd tier down, we have the wood and wool. I personally wouldn't use it, like I said, because it has wood and that's expensive with the gold, and I want to buy iron armor. Those 2 things separate. And then we have the wood and wool together. Anything with obsidian, 2 layers or 3 layers, anything with obsidian is just really expensive. And here you go. You can look at this one. This is the wool, wood, and clay. And then we just have any bed defense with water. Endstone, absolutely terrible. Nobody likes endstone. Then we have wood and glass. Glass is not that good unless you put it on the 1st layer and you have at least 3 layers of bed defense. Then we have the glass, endstone, and wool bed defense, or how some people call it the butterfly. I don't really like that because it does have endstone and glass, my 2 worst favorite blocks for putting a bed defense down. But that concludes the episode of Jake Brick rating bed defenses on the bed defense tier list. If you do have any extra bed defenses, don't forget to put them down in the comment section down below, because I will probably make a part 2 to this video later. And if you did really enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like. And according to YouTube, only 69.9% of you guys who actually watch these videos are subscribed. So it really would mean a lot if you did hit that subscribe button down below. You get to see more amazing content just like this video that you just watched. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!